What's up everyone, welcome back to Brad's Bioactive Builds, where I do step-by-step, do-it-yourself, naturalistic reptile enclosures. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. More or less going to be going over what I've been up to in 2025. Just simple adjustments that I've made, some corrections, along with building out the room to get it ready for the future. So outside of the daily maintenance of changing light bulbs, doing water changes, scrubbing the poop, wiping down and cleaning the glass, sweeping the floor, having fun feeding the animals, or just hanging out with them, I also had a blast doing some pretty cool things, like going to the Tinley NARBC, meeting up with my Varanus family over at Monitor Fest, competing in an awesome build-off competition. It was really cool to have Exo Terra drop off a pallet of supplies for an upcoming sponsored build. Got some really cool new reptiles, hanging out with some close friends filming reptile content, being asked to participate in the Epic Reptile Conference, dealing with some unfortunate times and heartbreaking losses, doing a really fun collaboration build, having Adam Wickens from Wickens Wicked Reptiles stop by to do a reptile room tour, or the best yet, the birth of my second son. I was in the middle of deep cleaning Jupiter's enclosure, and I figured let's go ahead and do a point-and-shoot reptile room tour along with some enclosure updates. I also had some pretty cool things I did in 2025 in and outside the reptile room I'd like to share with you in this video. With that being said, let's head into the main reptile room. So right when you walk in, you'll notice the dart frog paludarium, which once again has moved. It was in the room just outside of here. But with having two kids, I really wanted to turn and convert that room into a playroom. I just wanted to make sure I had as much free space as possible for them. I condensed everything into the reptile room here. So with that, I had to build out this here whole stand. But before moving it, I did cut back the plants quite a bit to promote new growth. This paludarium explodes with plant life, so give it about 3 months before I need to do it again. You'll notice though I do have a couple of different dart frogs in here. Peacocks, they are a Tinctoria species. The true Sipowinis, unfortunately I lost all of them due to, I got a couple more glass frogs. I was talking with the guy that sold them to me, and he said that they were captive bred. I don't think they were, because shortly after that it pretty much wiped out all my dart frogs and all the other glass frogs. So unfortunately that happened, but with that being said, I was able to get some of these guys, which I've wanted for quite some time. It's really cool to be able to work with them. Fish are still doing good. Got a couple of tetras down there, and also some shrimp too. So with that, I do have this stand. I built it just from scratch, good old 2x4s. It does have some casters on it. I did put some sliders up top so I can kind of have a top canopy, just to hide the fish food and everything else in there. I did add Earl the earless monitor, his enclosure right on top. I redid his enclosure a few different times while it was over on the other rack above the Acme enclosure, which I'll talk about here in a second. But with that being said, so I did remove the sand originally and then put in some stone. I also removed the filter that was in the back underneath the Corkbark tube there, the Owasi, and I replaced it with an exterior Owasi canister filter. I think it's the Bio 100. It also has the heater inside the canister filter, so it heats the water, and also it pulls, so the water comes in from down over here behind the Corkbark tube, goes across the bottom of the enclosure just to help circulate some of that water, and then goes up the inlet through here, and then just kind of completes it loop. I did add a little bit of vinyl on the side of this just to match the rest of the wood. And this here is on cleat system, the side of the stand that I built, so it'll pop on and off. That way I can get to all my filters and plumbing and all that stuff. Some other adjustments I made. The earless kept going in behind this back Corkbark tube here. So what I had to do is I had to fill it up with great stuff, pond and stone, just to keep him from going back there. It was kind of annoying. It's such a cool species. And when he was back there all the time, it was just, you were never able to see him. And honestly, this species in itself, the coolest animal that you'll never see. Very mysterious, very secretive. But man, is he cool when he's out. It's always a pleasant surprise to see him out when he is, whether he's just, swimming around or up on the bank here, doing his thing. He does burrow down there from time to time, or hanging out in his Corkbark tubes, his hides, or just eating some worms. Really cool animal to watch eat. They do the death roll. That's pretty cool. And I've actually been able to catch him swimming around underneath the sand as well. So as you'll notice too, there is sand back in here. So I had sand. I didn't like how dirty it was kind of getting on top. I added the just regular old river rocks. The issue with that is a lot of the worms kept digging down, and when the earless would eat, he'd go ahead and just rip them in half. And then I'd have a dead worm, which was, just trying to fish them out all the time was a pain in the butt. So I did put the sand back in, and just with a couple little river rocks. So it does seem to be working pretty well this way, much more functional for the animal itself. And just got to go ahead and use a pond vac or a vacuum, aquarium vacuum, and clean out the substrate, once a week, something like that. Since I don't see the earless that much, I figured I would get a few fish. With that, I just got a couple of longfin zebra danios just to spice up the enclosure a little bit, and also add some enrichment for the earless for when he does come out. So aside from that, Jupiter's enclosure, my Varanus cullingi. So if you saw it, it was originally really nicely planted. This thing was beautiful, but since having him grow, obviously, I mean, he's a big boy now, but as he's gotten bigger, he destroyed him. So I went ahead and I removed all the soil and put in cypress mulch. It's just going to keep him, one, he's not as dirty. Now, granted, I just did a water change. He jumped in the water and then decided to dig a little bit down there. So he is covered in a little bit of cypress mulch, but now I can actually take him out a lot more. And with that being said, I'm going to be building a huge tree in the middle of his enclosure. So that's pretty cool to see. The drip wall is still going good. I just have it turned off right now because I was doing water changes on that as well. I wanted to be able to build this tree on the inside, and also I'm going to go ahead and zoopoxy the whole inside of his tub. One of the issues that I'm having is when I do drain it, well, the bulkhead or the shower drain to the tub itself sits up. There's an upper lip on it, so some of the, I guess, just debris and everything like that gets stuck on that lip. So I'm going to go ahead and just pitch everything down inside the tub with zoopoxy. I did start cutting it away, but I mean, with working him inside the enclosure is one thing. Now, I do hang out with him inside of the enclosure, but I also wanted to kind of give him his own space and also free roam when I'm just kind of hanging out in the reptile room doing stuff. So I kind of created these little boards, once again on a French cleat system, so I can pop them on and off as needed, just so he can't go underneath his enclosure or the blue tree enclosure. And I also added the little sliders, as you can see, underneath the blue tree enclosure, and they just slide back and forth. So works like that, just like a sliding glass door. But with that being said, I want to give him some more surface space, so really looking forward to building out the tree inside of his enclosure. That'll be coming hopefully, let's say, middle of 2026, because I do have some other big plans coming around right around the corner. Say what's up, Jupiter. Yeah, he's a good boy. So in rearranging the reptile room a little bit, I did pull Jupiter's closure forward a little bit, reducing the floor space in the center of the reptile room. But I am working on a few things behind his enclosure that are going to be some pretty cool projects. One of those things is an incubator, and I also cleared up some of the room and space that I have right here to hopefully have some grow-up enclosures for future projects. Stay tuned. Make sure you see what's coming next on the channel because it's really exciting. So not much has changed with the blue tree monitor enclosure. I do randomly just add plants to it for a few different reasons. One, he is a monitor, so he will destroy a few of them. Also, too, I mean, they grow pretty tall, pretty much right towards the ceiling. So when that happens, I do have to cut them down. Or if I let it go too long, I just got to remove the plant and just add a new one. So, but Blue, aka Neptune, he's doing great. Just mesmerizing to look at. I mean, really, anywhere you can get a blue lizard is just besides me. And then to actually have it in varanid form is just, I mean, it's a win-win across the board. I do get a lot of questions, dry lock their nails, what will it do to it? I think it really depends on how you do the background itself. But as you can see, his nails are sharp as a tack. So he's having no issues with them getting worn down to the nubs, anything of that nature. Just an amazing animal. But I kind of, when I did the background, I created like pockets almost. So he's not only using his nails, but he's actually able to grip with his finger as well. And then obviously all the cork bark that he can use to climb around his enclosure really helps. Another thing that I did with this enclosure is I built like all these trees using different pieces of cork bark. I think that one there has like 5 or 6, and that one has 7, and the one in the middle has 2 or 3. And it just kind of makes for a really cool feature for the animal to utilize. Speaking of cork bark, my buddy Cody Kopp with Versatile Reptiles, he has the best deals, best prices, hands down. Hit him up. I'll drop his website in the description below. If you're looking for good quality cork, definitely hit him up. And another way to do the background too, instead of doing the dry lock, is you can also do cork bark panels, which he has, and I think he has the nice big pieces you can get to. So it's not like the 12 by 12s. I think he has the 18 by 18s, maybe even bigger. So definitely hit him up if you're looking for a good deal on cork bark. And I also have full step-by-step do-it-yourself tutorials on all of these builds. So if you're looking to kind of do something like this yourself, feel free to check out some of my other videos. So you can, maybe get some inspiration, new ideas, and also I love knowing about new ideas. So drop some down in the comments below. Any methods that you like using when building DIY enclosures. That's what this community is about. It's about us learning from each other, inspiring each other, just to better the animals. The Mertens enclosure is doing really well. It's so cool to just kind of sit in the reptile room and watch them do their thing. Seriously, I mean, this wasn't a project. It was a project of a lifetime. Although there are a couple of things that I would do differently. Just like any project, right? You work on it, you finish it, and it's like, okay, I could have done this differently. So obviously, I keep building. Eventually, I'll run out of room here in the reptile room. My wife and I were talking about moving anyways in the next few years. What I'm going to be looking for, one of the main things is going to be getting a reptile room, nice sized basement to, add some even bigger, badder, more awesome cages. So yeah, there's a quick little peek of them. I do have a video coming out soon of adding the fish, another one adding the Mertens. And then I got a couple other videos. I probably have about 5 or 6 as far as footage recorded for 5 or 6 videos. Like I said, I just wanted to get this one out to you all just because I've had some pretty cool and exciting things over the course of 2025. Now, with that being said, cool and exciting. Sometimes there is some sorrows. There's some the good, the bad, the ugly, right? And the bad, the ugly, unfortunately, I did lose my Ackie monitor. I had her in a temporary enclosure while I was setting up this paludarium here. So I had the Mertens in her enclosure. She laid for me 2 times. The third time, she just got egg bound and didn't pass them, and unfortunately passed away from it. Another thing that had happened is my panther chameleon. Unfortunately, Botticelli, he had passed away. He passed away due to old age. I believe he was somewhere around 5.5, 6 years old. Which is a decently long life for a panther chameleon. But, we were actually, my wife and I, we noticed him starting to, over the course of time, starting to slowly go. And he wasn't the same Botticelli that he once was. So with that being said, in his final days, and actually as he did pass, we were there with him. And I mean, if you're going to be with an animal when they pass, it sucks. But it was a beautiful passing with Botticelli. Like literally as he passed, his colors changed. It was a beautiful sight to see, just displaying how beautiful these animals are even when they're passing. So, I did cremate them. I did want to make sure I did them right and just kind of give them back to the universe from where they came from. With that being said, you'll notice that this wall here is completely empty. I moved the Earless that was on top of the Ackie enclosure. I did sell the Ackie enclosure. Thank you, Austin, for coming to pick it up from Texas. And now I do have this whole wall to work on. I've got a couple ideas in mind on what I want to build. Let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see me build next. I'd like to do, 2 4x2x6s in this spot. maybe even 2 5x2x6s. We'll see what I can kind of get away with as far as space goes. Another cool little build I'm working on it with Riddler Reptiles over from England. He was just over in town for Tinley. We're just kind of doing a very small collaboration build. So he had taken off, and I'll just go ahead and finish it from this point forward. But I think it's an 8x8x12. So let me know what you think I should put in this build too. So still got to paint it, add a few things to it, and then it'll be all wrapped up. And I'll do a full little step-by-step video for you all. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to my Patreons. Your added support is super appreciated. And now for some fun and exciting things I've been up to. But first, I'd like to say thank you to all of you for helping me reach 30,000 plus subscribers this year. Went to Monitor Fest 2025. It's always an amazing time with a lot of great people. If you enjoy talking about and keeping Veranus, I would definitely check it out. And it was also cool to have Adam Wickens from Wickens Reptiles stop by with his wife Trish, where he did a reptile room tour here at Brad's Bioactive Builds. I was able to show him some of the Varanus, some of the work I've been doing over the last few years, and the Mertens paludarium. It's one of the coolest things about creating content on YouTube. Having some of the creators you watched when you started up your channel, to have them come by and check out what you've done. I wish I would have recorded more content to make a YouTube video for you all, but luckily Adam just dropped one on his channel, so I'll post that video down in the description below. He's also got some serious epic builds on his channel, from small setups to massive enclosures, all filled with incredible animals, lush plants, and a thriving cleanup crew, with plenty more on the way. It's always cool to see what people create, bringing the habitat to life and having a slice of the jungle in their own home. I was also able to participate in the first ever NARBC Tinley Build-Off in March, hosted by Adam, sponsored by Chewy. It was a really cool, fun, exciting time to kind of see all of us content creators come together and create something and raffle it off for US ARC. After mixing a polygem zoopoxy for the last few years, it was really cool to be able to partner up with them. I'm a firm believer that it's the best top coat out there for any kind of animal species, especially Varanus or those with sharp nails. It was an honor to be featured in SOAR magazine, the mental health and addiction publication created by Jim Black, where I had the chance to share a bit of my story and background. Even more inspiring was getting to read everyone else's powerful journeys featured in this issue and how they overcome obstacles in their life or how they help others and pay it forward. I also got a Clodes Green Forest Dragon to go in Botticelli's old enclosure. Put a couple of plants in there, spruced it up, and man, is he a cool animal to watch jump around that enclosure. It was really awesome for Exo Terra to send me a pallet full of stuff. I'm really looking forward to this partnership and the sponsorship build. They did send me a couple of dome fixtures, stone and desert substrate, the new canopy compact for some LED lights, along with their new UVB fixture with some UVB bulbs, their halogen basking. They sent me 2 of those, along with their Monsoon Nano misting system. And the coolest thing, the new Pro Series paludarium. It has a lot of cool new added on features. Some of those would be bulkhead cut. You can just do quick drains down right through there. And then an adjustable vent so you can really dial in your ventilation, reduce any kind of condensation from the front glass. And then the lid itself also has little mounts for your misting system, your misting nozzles, just to seat into real nicely. You also sent me the terrarium cabinet, the stand it's going to sit on, so it'll really come together for that complete look of a nice finished product. I have some pretty cool ideas for putting together a nice naturalistic background on the inside of this enclosure. Drop down in the comments what you think I'm going to be putting in here. October NARBC, for the 25th anniversary, I had Riddler Reptiles, WillExotic, and Ravishing Reptiles come by. Stayed over for a few days. We got to film some pretty cool content here at Brad's Bioactive Builds. It was really cool watching the guys interact with the animals, doing some feedings, or just goofing off being themselves. Me and these 3 guys pretty much talk every day, so it's cool to have us all together in one place, in person, being able to have some cool conversation, talk reptiles, builds, expos, future plans, content creation. Such a cool expo. It was a little bit slower, I guess, as far as crowd-wise goes this year, but man, all the tables were stacked full of animals, a lot of cool things to see. It was also really cool to connect with a lot of people that watch my content over at Tinley. Shake hands, have conversation, and talk builds. If you're ever looking for something to do and you got some time to kill after a Tinley show, definitely check out the Shed Aquarium. They got a really cool aquarium setups, a lot of sharks and freshwater fish, some reptiles and amphibians. Got the chance? Definitely do it. It was an amazing experience being part of the Epic Conference, where breeders keepers all come together as a community to share their knowledge and deliver a message to all of us in the reptile community. I also put together a quick grow out enclosure. So I've been wanting these guys here for quite some time. Hopefully it's a 1.1. I almost got them before I got the blue tree monitor. And with that being said, I mean, today's the day, so I'll just go ahead and show them to you. So I got them from John over at Sim Container. Definitely check him out. Introducing to you all my Kimberly rock monitors. I'm super excited to be working with them and have yet another dream species. I've got some awesome enclosure and habitat ideas planned for these too. It's always exciting introducing a new animal to an enclosure, even if it's just a grow out setup to help them get socialized. When I started these builds, I did it for me and the animals and to be able to share with you the full step-by-step process of building naturalistic enclosures and how it benefits the animals. But something I did not plan for was watching the excitement my firstborn son gets when going in to see his dinosaurs in his personal zoo. This has been amazing to see his face light up or waving to them. With that being said, the best thing that's happened in 2025 is the birth of my second son. Sitting in the reptile room, just taking it all in. I can't wait to build some projects with these two and teach them to respect the animals for who they are. By the grace of God, I celebrated 15 years of sobriety. From someone who was once hopeless and couldn't take a sober breath to save his life, to someone now able to offer hope, share resources, and help break the stigma of addiction. On the firing lines, helping people get sober, passing on what was so freely given to me. It's crazy to think how far this reptile room has come and where I want to bring the channel into the future. From somebody that was homeless to creating some pretty cool naturalistic habitats for his reptiles. I have some really cool things wrapping up 2025 and some even neater things for 2026. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos. Thanks for watching. Hey buddy, what's a dinosaur say?
Good job.